Good afternoon, West Michigan. I'm Elena Holland. Juliet has the day off. We start today with continuing coverage of the flooding fallout after days of heavy rain. Kent County Emergency Management is monitoring high levels of the Grand and Thornapple rivers, while both Muskegon and Kalamazoo counties have declared local states of emergency because of the flooding. Meanwhile, people who live along the Muskegon River floodplain in Newaygo County remain under evacuation orders. We have team coverage, and we'll hear from both Micah Cho and Michael Martin in just a few minutes. But first, we start with Third 10 Your Sign meteorologist Blake Hansen, who joins us now with more on our weather impact alert for today. Blake, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Elena, while today has been an enjoyable day, we've been dry start to finish once that fog eroded away. We've been under partly to mostly sunny skies and temperatures responded, but we have a risk of thunderstorms, the likelihood of thunderstorms coming in tonight that could present a low-end severe weather risk. Right now here in Muskegon, 79 is the number. Warmest day of the year for Muskegon so far, almost near 80 degrees, and up and down the lakeshore temperatures are in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. That's because the wind is slightly out of the south and east, negating any influence off the cooler waters of Lake Michigan. But regardless, everyone across West Michigan well into the 70s, and there's that wind, a touch breezy, some wind gusts in the 20 to 25 mile per hour range. We are quiet right now, but that will change as we progress farther this evening. Thunderstorms have blossomed upstream of us, all the way from the upper Midwest down into the southern plains. That's a cold front coming through the country, and that cold front is heading in our direction. So we'll remain dry through this evening. If you have out and about plans, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, no issues there. But by about 11 o'clock this evening, midnight, we'll start to see some of these thunderstorms roll in our direction, and there is a small chance of severe weather, mostly in the way of strong to damaging wind gusts. The silver lining here is that those thunderstorms are expected to weaken as they press farther into West Michigan, so hopefully we avoid any severe weather risk. Temperatures tonight will fall into the 50s, and we have some cooler numbers on the way as the weekend goes on. And it's not out of the question we even see a few flakes of snow over the course of the weekend. Our roller coaster of weather continues. We'll have that all for you in your 7-day forecast a few minutes from now.
All right, Blake, thank you. The Kent County Emergency Operations Center is now active with flood warnings in effect for the Grand River and Thornapple River. We shot this video earlier today near a Brigador Trail in Comstock Park. Right now, the Grand River is at 13.3 feet, more than a foot above flood stage. The Grand River is expected to rise nearly 3 more feet before cresting on Monday. And Muskegon County is the latest West Michigan community to declare a local state of emergency as floodwaters continue to rise. Officials activated the emergency plan this afternoon, warning recent heavy rains are threatening infrastructure and private property. The declaration allows the county to coordinate directly with state and regional partners for extra resources. Now, people who live there are urged to monitor local river levels and avoid any flooded roads. The Road Commission will be posting updates on its Facebook page. And in Newaygo County now, an evacuation order remains in place along the Muskegon River that's below the Croton Dam. Today, Third 10 Your Sign's Micah Cho talked to people in that area along the river and joins us now with that part of our team coverage. Micah.
Yeah, so this is the Anderson Flats boat launch. We're kind of in between Grant and Newaygo. Now, this road is obviously closed, but I want to show, look at the current going over this road here. There's a neighborhood in the background. You can see a few houses on the right, and you can even see a house on the end here. But the current here coming through this, it's absolutely insane. The Muskegon River is maybe 50 feet to the right of us. We did put the drone up. I do kind of want to show some of those for a second here. That just kind of shows the intensity of this water, coming through this neighborhood. Now, the Anderson Flats boat launch neighborhood, that's not the only place that we stopped by today. We also did go to Devil's Hole. I think it's about maybe a 15-minute drive away from here, a little closer to Newaygo County in Brooks Township. And we did want to go down there, kind of talk with some neighbors. However, the Newaygo County Sheriff's Office says, well, the only people that are allowed down there right now with these high water levels are homeowners. Now, we were able to talk with Megan Supernaw, who was kind of cleaning out her house today. Luckily, she lives on a higher piece of the land there, but she told us kind of what she saw as she was going down there.
I did see a truck go through and it was past its tires. It was all the way up like bottom engine area. So definitely some depth there, lots of flooding. I talked to one of my neighbors and they said it's already in their floorboards like above them. So their house has already been infiltrated. I see a lot of furniture floating, trash floating. There's going to be a lot of efforts coming up here soon.
Bye. Yeah, so one more time just to take a look at this. I mean, these houses, again, are submerged. The Muskegon River is absolutely just flowing, and I believe to the left of here also is a campground. We weren't able to get the drone over that way, but I am curious to see how that is holding up. For now, in Newaygo County, I'm Micah Cho for 13 on your side.
All right, Micah, thank you. And workers from the Michigan Department of Transportation are inspecting bridges across the state looking for flood damage. MDOT says they watch riverbeds for changes such as shifting sand that can affect the support beams. They also say problems can arise when the water reaches the bridge deck.
Eventually the water gets up to the level of the bridge itself and of the beams of the bridge, at which point you're worried about the flow of the water, but also at that point debris that may get swept down the river and get trapped against the bridge, pushing on the bridge, get underneath the bridge and pushing on things, which can exacerbate the impact of water swirling and spinning at that location, plus cause damage just due to the weight and the force of whatever it is that's pushing against the bridge.
MDOT is also urging people not to go around roadblocks. Crews put them in place for safety reasons to protect you from high water levels and workers fixing the roads. The dams along the Muskegon River help control the amount of water flowing downstream. There are 3 of them, the Rogers, Hardy, and Croton dams. Some people are questioning how they're being operated and the impact on the flooding. 13 on Your Side's Michael Martin spoke with the director of hydro operations for Consumers Energy to find out, and he joins us now live. Michael, what can you tell us?
Well, Elena, interesting sights around the Croton Dam up here today. Not as much activity in terms of people stopping by to get a look at those waters rushing through. But for Consumers Energy, who own and operate those 3 dams that you mentioned on the Muskegon River, well, they've got extra staff in place at those dams, constantly monitoring levels 24/7 and activities at those dams to make sure that water's getting through and everybody is staying safe.
There's a lot of planning and preparation that goes out throughout the year, exactly for moments like this. And
as of Friday afternoon, all 3 hydroelectric dams situated on the Muskegon River are working as they should.
And we do regular tests on our spill gates or floodgates that you see at the facilities and make sure they're in operation and ready to go whenever these situations arise.
Making decisions about dam operations begins by monitoring the Muskegon River water levels at a point in Everett.
Comes into the Rogers Dam. As those flows increase, the operators make adjustments at Rogers. That water then flows the Hardy Dam.
Ultimately, it flows down here to the Croton Dam.
So as they see that water rise, we like to keep the reservoirs at a constant elevation. So as more river flow comes in, that is how much more we pass.
Operators can lift and lower these massive spill gates to control water flow.
We watch the weather very closely, working with the Weather Service on predicted flows, so we can make sure we are managing the flows and passing them downstream safely.
Going into the weekend, when the Muskegon River is expected to crest, Consumers says they have no concerns about the structural integrity of their hydroelectric dam.
That is correct. There are no concerns at the Croton Dam or any of our 13 river hydro dams.
Yeah, so again, there's no concerns about the structural integrity at any of those dams, but we did just learn within the last few minutes here that Consumers Energy will begin bringing equipment over to Rogers Dam just to make sure that there is no erosion happening around there. For now, live in Newaygo County, Michael Martin, 13 on Your Side.
Michael, thank you. And of course, we will continue to cover the rising waters throughout our newscast today and throughout the weekend. Be sure to stay with 13 on Your Side, both on air and online, for the latest information. And make sure you have the 13 on Your Side app with push alerts turned on.